howdy doody to you, Tootie. You're back with the dads, the two bald dads, and we're coming at you live and loud. Back for another huge episode. Guys, I'm not alone. As always, I'm joined by the fabulous, the immaculate conception that is Matt. Matt, welcome.
Chris, thank you. Thanks for having me again for another huge week. I would be keen to hear if people do feel uncomfortable with you saying that we are coming at them large and fast. I would feel like that would make anyone uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable when you say it.
Yeah. Now, Matt, what also makes me uncomfortable is being filmed.
Yeah.
And we are...
I'm trying to act as casual as I can.
I'm being pretty cool about it, but slowly, making sure.
No matter what, my eyes just always get drawn back to the camera.
Guys, we're giving it a crack. We're trying our first ever recorded session, I guess you'd say. So this will be on our YouTube channel, on our OnlyFans page. Mm-hmm. If you're not already subscribing to that.
Pornhub. I guess we may as well put it up there.
Might as well. Yeah, it's good to keep your fingers in lots of pies. So
Two guys left alone in a room.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
See what happens.
All right.
Everyone will be like, "Oh, look at this!
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mediocre podcast."
No, this is disappointing. So, but you never know, Matt. These sorts of, the better the descriptions are, the more hits you get on it.
Yeah. So if we be incredibly graphic with the description.
So, and there was no better example than that when you and I were in a band.
Yes. Absolutely.
So if you're not sure if there's deviants out there in the interweb, I'll tell you a little story to let you know that they are out there. We played a gig many years ago, and someone filmed it. Awful quality video, awful quality audio, awful quality band.
Singer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just awful quality people. And
just bad quality all around.
We cut it into tracks and then posted it on YouTube. And
assumed it would be our big break.
We did,
and in some ways it was.
Yeah. And we had tens of hits from friends and family, tens of hits on all our tracks, except for one track which blew out to thousands of hits. Because the name of that song was called 50 Guy Cream Pie. That was Matt's signature song. That was that was his big breakthrough song. And it's funny because all the songs leading up to that only had about 10 or 15 views.
Yeah, and had non-sexually explicit names. And the funny thing about this song is it was just a stupid title that it had nothing to do with that.
And it was by far our most successful YouTube hit.
And I remember you saying to me, just imagine the amount of people were sitting there with their Johnson in hand. Yeah,
ready to go.
Here we go.
And they're like, this is disappointing.
This is the ultimate stiffy killer. Anyway, that's what we should do again this time, Chris.
All right.
If we want to get noticed.
So season 2, episode 11, 50 Guy Cream Pie.
Perfect. Back in the habit.
But Matt, I know I've said it before, but big episode again today.
Big episode.
Not only are we now touching you via a visual medium, we're also just touching you with our words like we do time and time again.
Now, I know for a fact, and I've finally seen through your facade that you have, for the longest time, wanted to be a vlogger.
I have been vlogging off for some time.
Yeah, you've vlogged all of us off at one time or another. And is this your way? Is this whole thing been an elaborate ruse?
Yeah.
So you can finally become a vlogger?
A vlogger,
yes or no? Tell me right now.
Yes, 100%. You're dead right. And now there is more apparatus out there to help me vlogging. We've got our cool little tripods here to hold our cellular
Chris, don't call me that.
phones up. Matt, no one's calling you a tripod.
It's a very lopsided tripod.
So we've got these. They make a cool thing where it's an LED ring.
Yeah.
So visually, when I'm doing my makeup tutorials, you can really see.
Well, this is what I was just thinking. I'm like, we could invent, and no one steal this if you haven't, a pop filter that's also a ring light.
A ring light, yeah, for lighting.
Put that in. Put that in with our zip off socks.
Okay. And zip off sleeves.
Yeah. Our merchandise. It could be a zip off pop filter. Who knows?
Yeah, that's exciting. We'll put that right at the top of the maybe
pile.
Right
at the top of the maybe pile. Wow. That's one of my better suggestions.
But Matt, what have you got for me? Have you got your dad moment of the maybe? Of the week.
The dad moment of the me.
Of the week.
I do have a dad moment of the week, Chris, and you know me, I run to my own format here, so I actually have a dad question for you.
Ooh.
Should be a bit of a theme of this show.
What?
I was at the park yesterday. Not yesterday, a different day.
Okay.
It was before yesterday, if you must know.
Okay, I do.
And you know, we've spoken about parks at length. You know,
You hate the small chat, like you hate.
of course, I hate the small chat. And also, what I've noticed, this is unrelated, but I've also noticed there's always one person at the park that you're not sure if they're there with a kid, and looks like they shouldn't be there.
Okay.
Like I was at a different park the other morning. This is a quick sidebar, I promise. And there was an elderly Asian gentleman. Doesn't matter what culture he was from, but he was just sitting there slapping his calves. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know what for. Mm-hmm. It was pretty early in the morning, but he sat there for a good 5 minutes and slapped his calves at the park. And I don't know why. But anyway, that's not really my dad moment of the week. My dad moment of the week
Are you sure that's not it?
that might be my dad moment of the year.
So Matt's been at home slapping his calves.
And look at him. Look at how red they are. I'll bring my legs up onto camera later. But so I was at the park. We've spoken about how it's like a prison yard out there for kids. Mm-hmm. So there was one kid there, and I don't like to speak ill of children, but this kid sucked.
Okay.
He was a piece of crap.
Well, we talked about the shit kid.
Exactly. Definitely this kid. Yeah. He was throwing rocks at other kids. Mm-hmm. And then as he went to throw a rock at one kid, a dad roused on that kid.
Okay.
So it was the dad's kid was just about to get a rock thrown at him. And then the dad came in and yelled at the rock thrower, who wasn't his own kid.
Okay.
And presumably a stranger's kid. Mm-hmm. And I'm asking, this is my question to you. Like, what do you do in that situation? If your lovely, articulate son, hair as red as the day is large, is about to have a rock thrown at him. Now, keep in mind, this kid was not a professional baseballer. Mm-hmm. He didn't have a good arm on him. He didn't have good aim on him. He lacked a lot of fine motor skills.
Okay.
But this dad really gave it to this kid.
Yeah.
I mean, the question is, where was the rock thrower's parents? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably slapping their calves somewhere.
Slapping their calves, yeah.
What would you do? Would you yell at the kid? Or would you throw yourself in front of the rock?
Famously not a yeller, you know what I mean? Me in general.
But you've got your Batman voice.
I do have my Batman voice. Would it work on other children? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yes. I'm not too sure what I would do. Would I throw a rock back at the child?
Kid, yeah.
Sure.
Maybe like a warning shot.
Yeah.
Like at his feet and be like, dance.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
Yeah. It's a tough one, Matt, because I don't know how it... Look, here's the thing. I'm not an overly passionate person about many things in life, right? Just in general. It's just a little tidbit about me and who I am.
And I know, but you have had a passion exponentially increase over the last few weeks, haven't you, Chris?
Okay.
Your muffin passion.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We said we wouldn't bring up the
muffins. I lied. No, yes, you are not a very passionate person.
I'm not a passionate
lethargic kind of guy.
But nor am I an emotional person. Mm-hmm. I mean,
dead inside.
Dead inside. But
safest way
when
to be.
It comes to my son, turned on its head a little bit. Yeah,
really?
Wow. I'm passionate. I'm emotional.
Yeah.
I didn't really care too much for children prior to my son.
Yeah.
Now that my son's involved, love him dearly.
Yeah.
Very passionate about him. And if something would happen to him, I've never wanted to murder anyone ever, but if someone did something to my child, I would feel...
So you're thinking like an eye for an eye type thing. So your stance is that you think it's okay to throw a rock at a small child.
Don't put words in my mouth, Matt. They're
the words that you put in your own mouth. Right. Like the muffins that you eat so much.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Matt, yes. Yes. No, I don't know. It's hard until you're actually in that situation, I guess. But
I would feel weird yelling at someone else's kid.
I would feel weird. I would probably just pick my kid up and just move him
I feel
away
like I
from
would
the
do that
rock
as well.
throwing.
But like I've noticed, like obviously now that you're on camera, people can see how ravaged you were by the hand, foot, and mouth. And like you've taken that bullet for your son.
Yeah.
You know, you said, give me the infection so he doesn't have it. And look at you.
Yeah. I will taketh this disease from your son so that you may go and play.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and, you know, much like the Lord, it was around Easter time and here you are risen again.
I have only just. I've got clearance.
So that was my dilemma. It just made me think, you know, and you know, I like to get people thinking.
Yeah. You're a thinker.
I am a thinker. And I thought, I feel like I've once seen a man on the internet come in and grab his kid and roll back as a car was about to hit him.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd do that.
Yeah.
And then get up, take my applause, bow, and be on my merry way.
Get the kudos that you deserve for that heroic moment.
And then give the kid like $20 and say, thanks for that. Thanks for throwing the rock at my kid.
Well, that's the thing. Again, I'm not an athletic person, but I feel like if the situation arose and I had to jump in front of something, I'd probably do it for my son.
Would you do it for my son?
What was that, sorry?
Would you do it for my son?
Look, it doesn't really matter whose son I'd do it for. No, I probably would, especially if he was in my care. If he was in my care, and you're like, "Hey, Chris, we're just, you know, you don't mind walking our son home," and then your son runs out on the road, and then I'm like, "Oh, well, that's probably my fault.
Yeah,
you know, I'm probably responsible. I should jump in here and help out."
I feel like I would only do it for your son if it meant I had more of a chance of surviving it. Because if it was going to like eliminate my chances.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Well, sometimes, like, if they're in a dangerous position, there's no point in both of you being
like if he's in the water and there's like a shark, like he's in a shark's mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in.
Well, there's no point in jumping in and both of you being exactly a shark. You know what I mean?
I'll go on and live his memory out.
No, so heroic and brave.
That's the hardest part, living with it. But somebody has to do it, unfortunately, Chris.
True.
So look, that was it was just a bit of a dad. I just thought I put myself in that dad's shoe.
Yeah.
He did not give a fuck. He was like, "You stop throwing these rocks," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And like the other dad was off somewhere. I don't know what he was doing, but I would say, you know, if you're a kid and you're listening, don't throw rocks.
Yeah.
Wait till you're older.
Don't be the shit kid.
Don't be the shit kid. And the surprising part is that he was not a redhead.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the classic O'Doyle rule sort of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
They are naturally sort of bullies in a way. All the redheads when you growing up were. Yeah.
They definitely were. And your son has taken the tradition on. He relentlessly bullies my son.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
He bullies me if that helps. I mean,
it does. It does help. Yeah. It really does help. But Chris, that was my dadlemma. What's your dadlemma?
Look, Matt, I just want to give the people an update. I guess last week we had some issues. I had some personal issues, some health issues. My doctor then insisted that I get some blood work done.
How is your syphilis?
Hang on a sec, Matt. Don't you jump to the syphilis conclusion. So for anyone who didn't tune in last week, I had hand, foot and mouth. I went to the doctors to get cleared so I could go back to work. And the doctor looked at me and thought, here's a stud.
Yes. I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing we can do.
She looked at me and she goes, this bloke's a mad brooder, I reckon. I
bet she did.
She goes, I better check this. I better check this big rig for some sexually transmitted infections.
I'm surprised she just didn't instantly say, sir, can I take a look at your penis? Would that be possible? Yeah. And you would have obviously obliged.
Well, she's a doctor if that's what they want.
But she's gone the next step and said he's obviously using that penis a lot.
He's obviously giving it a real workout.
Geez, that wedding ring mustn't mean anything to him.
It doesn't, because he's a dick. Look, long story short, my doctor made me go and get some blood works done for syphilis, hepatitis, HIV.
The big three.
All the hepatitis too, you know what I mean? Not just your regular hepatitis.
Yeah, ABCs.
ABC.
You're into the EFGs.
That's it. She got me done for all the hepatitis. Anyway, I get a call on the weekend saying, hey, Chris, good news. You don't have syphilis. And I was like, and I said to her at the time, I'm like, oh no, thanks for that. I really appreciate that. I probably could have told you that though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fairly confident. I was pretty confident that I didn't have syphilis.
You were like 90% sure.
And she goes, and also good news, you don't have HIV. And I said, I said, sweet.
Awesome.
Sweet. I said, also, again, probably could have told you
Yeah.
that. I probably could have said, saved a lot of people a bit of time.
Yeah.
Like the people who took my blood and stuff like that. The people who did all the
I mean,
testing.
it's a real drain. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
We need to be doing tests.
Surely there's more important
testing
blood
you
test
for
to be
HIV.
doing than the testing me for HIV. And then she goes, oh, and good news, you're actually vaccinated for hepatitis. I'm like, I know that. I'm like, I know I was vaccinated. Yeah. So, and she goes, so yeah, so you're sweet for hepatitis. I'm like, again,
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for
She
wasting
goes,
mine and everyone's time.
but she goes, look, I do have something has flagged up here. Something's flagged up. It's only minor. But just in terms of your liver function.
I had the same thing. The last time I got a blood test, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's not bad, but it's just it's getting there."
Yeah, but I don't understand. She couldn't quite explain to me. She just said, my liver functions.
There's a score. There's
a score. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, pardon? And I said, oh, is there something I can do to improve it perhaps? Something in my diet? She goes, do you drink much? I said, no, I don't. I said, like, what's much? You know what I mean? Like, you know. And then she goes, oh, I said, look, I have a few beers with dinner most days, a few whiskeys, a bottle of wine, like, you know what I mean?
Just normal stuff.
Like just regular stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff that, you know, I've grown up with, my parents have grown up with, you know, like we're all fit and healthy, you know, except for my liver function.
No, but I got the same thing, and I was like, oh shit, I better like dial it back, which I did for a week.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it.
And you're right back into it
But
again.
I mean, doctors have tried to make it.
What's the score bar?
I don't know what the score is.
But we've talked about this
But like
before.
if my score's high, that's good.
Yeah, that is good. Surely.
It's got to be good.
Surely. But we've talked about this before, like on the forms when they put down, they're like, how much do you drink? And I'm like, is it 1 to 2 beers a week, 2 to 4 beers a week, or more than 4 beers a week, or 4 standard drinks? I'm like, more than four standards a week? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
obviously.
you can have that in a session.
Yeah,
Like, you know?
easily. Easily. No, it's a bit unreasonable. So for all the doctors listening, shove it.
Yeah. But look, thanks everyone involved with my blood tests.
Everyone was worried. I mean, the Two Bald Dads universe we were about to hold a candlelight vigil for you, with your pending HIV announcement.
Yeah,
a la Magic Johnson.
No, well that's it. But I'm fine. Well,
that's good.
Much like
that's
Magic
good.
Johnson.
Good. I mean, if you have syphilis, get in touch.
Yeah.
TwoBaldDads69 at hotmail.com.
Well, isn't it? Don't they? Can't you take antibiotics for syphilis or something now? Isn't it just a?
I'm not
why
up
don't
to
you
date
tell
on
us?
it. I mean, when I have
What
it.
do you know?
I'm not up to date on it. All I know is that back in the day, it meant you lost your mind and you died.
And your dick falls off.
Does it? Shoots off.
Shoots off like a rocket.
See you later.
Which is weird. It's a weird thing to witness.
I can imagine.
Doctors are dealing with it all the time.
Yeah, oh God. That's why.
It's a real pandemic.
That's why your doctor was wearing a welder's mask when you came in. She said, "Look, it's just to be on the safe side."
In case you have syphilis and your penis
And your dick
flies off.
It's very highbrow.
Yeah.
No, but please get in touch if you've got any weird stories like that, or you genuinely want to waste our time, just like Chris has. Get in touch at twobalddads69 at hotmail.com or twobalddads_pod at Instagram. Guys, it's been a few weeks since we've had some social interaction, and look, we've been a bit quiet on it, but I've been fucking busy.
Okay. Wow. I thought you were going to say we've had interaction.
So get off my back. No. So we'd love to hear from you. Get in touch. That's all we that is the show motto. Get in touch.
Yeah. Because we're
from now on.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the show motto?
That's the show motto. Get in touch.
We're getting T-shirts made up. Two Bald Dads podcast.
Get in touch. Yeah. But with no way on how to do it on the T-shirt.
Just get in touch.
But Chris, we are here, and I have asked you. I've had a dad lemma before, and I'm in a dad crisis now.
Yeah.
So we haven't spun up the wheel. We haven't gone to the shops and got a hot topic. I'm coming in with a dad crisis. I'm talking to one of my closest acquaintances. Okay. And I'm thinking I'm a man that is flawed, and I've never shied away from saying that I am near perfect, but flawed. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, I don't want to pass on my flaws to my son. Okay. Yeah. Now I come to you.
To which you have many.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. I come to you, a man well versed in having flaws, for some advice, because I think if there's any man that knows about flaws, it's Christopher Adam Wall.
First of all, that's definitely not my middle name.
Isn't it?
It's not.
Well, that's one of your flaws.
Yeah.
So look, I'll start, and so I thought it might be a bit of fun, so we could think about what is the one of the flaws you don't want to pass on to your son. I mean, it's inevitable that they'll pick up some of our flaws, like obviously our high liver scores, and things like that. But look, my big one is, and you know, all of my friends and acquaintances, such as yourself, will know that I'm not good at amusement parks. Famously,
You're not good at all.
No, I'm famously a bag holder, which is an integral part of the amusement park experience.
It is really handy to have that one friend that will not go on anything. And you can
I will go on it, but I'd rather hold the bags and make sure everyone else has a good time.
You're a good bloke like that.
Like if you're up there on the bush beast, you don't want to think, oh, where's my bag? I hope someone has my bag.
Yeah, the bag holder has it.
Because you can see me down there holding the bag, bored out of my mind.
So where can we try to pinpoint where this all comes from, Matt? Like where did your
I can tell you
of amusement parks / roller coasters come from?
People might have picked up on the subtle fact that I'm a little bit afraid of rides. I'm not great with heights either. I'm built for leisure and comfort, not for speed and heights. But I remember when I was a young boy at the Easter show, which is right about this time.
The Macedonian Easter show? Or
no,
the
just
not
the Orthodox Easter that you don't want to go on. No, I was there and we got on the flying chairs and I was about 6 and I thought it was like the little chairs.
Yeah.
But they were like the hectic chairs and I screamed and screamed and screamed and they stopped the ride and let me off. Okay. My parents didn't talk to me. They were so embarrassed.
I would have been embarrassed, yeah.
And then from then on I've just never been keen on it and I don't know why. I just don't like it. It's not for me. I'm more of a sit at a bar and drink kind of guy.
And you're great at that, which I'm good at.
I'm really good at that. Thank you. And I would love it if someone would hold my bags while I'm doing that. Yeah. But no one does.
No, that's true.
So I would hate for my son to pick up that one of my flaws. Yeah. Like even so we went to like a little food fair that you guys were meant to come to, but you were too hungover. But we can talk about that off pod.
Was it a hungover or did I have hand, foot and mouth disease?
No, you were hungover, okay? Don't bring it up. And there's the little teacups on there. And
I was celebrating my test results.
Fair enough. And there were little teacups on there and my wife was like, why don't you take, our son on there? And I was like,
not for me.
Not for me.
Teacups.
No, look, I would go on the teacups. They did look nauseating, but that one was more along the lines of, he would be so annoying on there, and then I would forget myself and freak out. Yeah. But I don't want to pass that on to him, so I just thought...
I distinctly recall you at the Easter show, Matt. No, not the Easter show. The Oktoberfest. Oh my Lord.
Oh, yeah.
And you went on a couple of rides very reluctantly.
Oh, I was not happy about it.
You were like, please let me hold the bags.
I would have loved to. Give me the lederhosen. Yeah. I'll hold them. Yeah. I'd had a skinful of beer. Like many beers, and I was told to get on this ride. Yeah. And the worst part was, not only was I terrified of the ride, is that my comb over, which up until that point had everyone fooled, was blowing about in the breeze. Caused by this horrifying ride, and I was like, "This is my nightmare. This is my literal nightmare." That was maybe the worst time of my life.
I distinctly recall the terrified look on your face, and then because we had the harness around us, you were trying to reach up to your hair to press it back down again. And
I was trying to tuck it into the harness. Oh, it was a nightmare. Honestly, that was a nightmare. And the good part is that no one brought it up.
Yeah.
No, everyone was pretty cool about it.
At all, which is good.
No, that was good. No, so yeah, if that was an opportunity for me to get over this fear, if anything, it dramatically enhanced it.
Good. So you're really hoping that your son doesn't follow in those
footsteps. That's what I don't want. I don't want him to follow in those footsteps. So what? Like as I said, yourself, many flaws.
Plenty. So, I mean,
what do you got?
First up, speed.
Lack thereof.
Well, yes. My speed has always been a curse to me. It's to say I'm slow is an understatement. I am deceptively slow. People have said that, deceptively slow. Because now that I've lost a little bit of weight as an older man, because I was a fatter, a high school child, and I really ripped in my early 20s as well. It wasn't until sort of mid 20s where I thought, I might trim it back a little bit here. And now I give the impression that I may be athletic. I'm not. I'm not. Still very slow. So when I play sports and I start running, it's sort of like, that expression, he's on a treadmill?
Yeah.
Literally me.
It always looks like
life.
you're getting up to speed, but you never quite get there.
Yeah, no.
Like you never get out of first gear. For all the manual drivers out there, Chris never gets out of first gear. Yes. And I know we have a lot.
Do we?
I would imagine.
Yeah, I'd say there'd be a few out there changing gears listening to this right now, I reckon.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, we that's probably one thing. I'm really hoping, just look, sport in general, like I've said before, I was always out there chasing friendships, not premierships, Matt.
That's right.
I've never been competitive at anything, so... Whereas my older brother, super competitive, right?
Yeah.
Super competitive. So I'm really hoping, in the same vein, whereas my younger sister is an exact replica of my auntie, I'm really hoping that potentially my son gets a lot of his sort of uncle's traits.
Right, yeah.
Because he's much better at sports. Actually, both of my brothers are much better at sports than me.
Look, you're all right at sports. You good at beer pong?
That's true. I am good at... Well, because it involves drinking.
Yeah. It's the only time... I started off really competitive.
Yeah.
And then as the years have gone on, I've
got over it.
I've gotten over it. Yeah. And I don't think I have a competitive bone in my body. Yeah. I don't care enough anymore. But when it comes to beer pong, I will stab you.
Once people started integrating... Once we were able to integrate alcohol and sports, I became more competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
I was more,
it's weird, and as the day goes on, you get more and more competitive.
Look, Matt, that's probably, dare I say, my only flaw. Other than that,
okay. All right.
Perfect head to toe.
I would say, I wouldn't say from head. I think if one thing we both could pass on to our sons, it would not be our male pattern baldness.
Yeah, true. There's that. I'm actually, again, if we're actually going to point out flaws, I actually don't have a bottom. I've got the longest back in Sydney, actually. It goes literally from my shoulders to my ankles. And my wife never brings it up, ever. Where I'm really hoping that maybe my son, perhaps...
He's got a dump truck.
Hopefully he develops a bottom because luckily I was a guy, and during the early 2000s we were going through a sagging pants. So you didn't even notice that.
That was the dream for you.
That was cool. I was never wearing fitted pants. I was hanging shirts.
And now that we're in the gym tights phase of our life, it's really showing up for you, isn't it?
It really is.
And maybe that's why you've got no speed, because I have no. I get all of my speed from my ass.
Yeah.
Well, which isn't a lot, also. May I add? I'm you at the start. I start slow, and then I get marginally faster, and that's me top speed.
Yeah.
But look, if I had to pick one last flaw, I would say strength. If anything, I'm too strong. I don't want my son to... Oh, definitely. The amount of doors that I've accidentally ripped off their hinge just by opening them.
Actually, on a side note, just talking about ripping doors off hinges, remember that time just mere weeks ago when I tried child safetying all my cupboards downstairs.
Yeah.
And then I actually locked the cupboard and I couldn't open it again. And then I asked your strong wife, and I said, try and open this, because I bloody stuffed it up, and then she just ripped it straight off.
She's got that ropey mum strength, Or she pictured, she's like, my son's in there.
Yeah.
And then she just ripped
Yeah,
it off. We don't have that. Maybe that's one thing. Killer instinct.
Yeah.
That's something I definitely don't have either. But Chris, I thought that's what we could do. So I guess we've really hit the big topics here. So mine would be enjoyment of theme parks, and yours would be speed and sportsmanness in general.
Sure.
I mean, I would like my son to be more successful than me at sports. It's going to be tough, but
I think we've touched on this before because I'm really torn because I love rugby league.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big rugby league guy.
Big
and I would love
rugby head.
nothing more than my son to be the next Corey Horsburgh.
Okay. Yeah, very good.
Running face first into blokes.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of them that are, I mean, there is some certainly exceptions to the rule, but a lot of them are just real basic blokes, you know?
Yeah.
Great footy players. But sort of basic guys, some of them. So,
sure.
And I just worry, I'm like, is that what my son's going to be, you know?
Well, maybe
do I want him in that environment?
You played rugby league.
Yeah. Not well, but...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. But that's it, Chris. That's what I thought. I thought I'd try it up. I mean, if I have a few more of these, a few more dad crises that I think I might bring them to you if the people will allow it.
Please,
and if the people don't allow it, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. They can get stuff. If you've got a trait that you wouldn't or would like to pass on to your son, if I wanted to pass on a trait to my son, it would be my wide shoulders, probably my best feature.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Please get in touch at twoballeddads69@hotmail.com or twoballeddads_pod at Instagram 69.
69. Nice one, Matt. But Matt, before we
bid you
adieu, I've got a little dad joke for you.
Do you?
And
I was wondering if you would.
I do, but I've had to commit this one to memory because my phone's been used to film this, which is normally where I would have it jotted down.
Okay.
So I didn't think that through very much, but so hopefully I nail the delivery of this. But this is season 2, episode 11. This is the dad joke of the week.
Talk to me,
Matt.
Yes.
Why don't dinosaurs make good pets?
Because they're lost.
No.
Okay.
Because they're dead.
Good. That's true. That is true. And I mean, if you were to bring them back, Jurassic Park has taught us that they wouldn't make good pets.
There's literally nearly half a dozen movies as to why we shouldn't bring dinosaurs back.
Well, that's very good. Thank you.
No, thank you.
I mean, take that to the bank and smoke it. To your local bank, go in, speak to a teller, smoke that right in front of them.
Look, guys, I'm going to try my darndest to try to edit this episode, as poorly as I normally would, but also try to edit the video. And then we're going to put it up on our recently created YouTube channel. Which is on YouTube.
Okay, good. Stand by.
I don't actually...
Stand by for channel confirmation.
Let me figure out what the channel is, but if you just go to YouTube, search Two Bald Dads.
We assume it'll be
search Two Bald Dads 69. I mean, I tried doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Just search Two Bald Dads podcast, maybe. I don't know. Look, we'll post up on the socials, but hopefully I can get this thing working. We'll get it out to you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as Matt and I do, Probably not.
Sure.
Look,
no,
guys,
we do.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Two Bald Dads. I'm Chris.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll see you next time.
Foo.